Can't tell me you ain't tried. Anybody who is determined to do something, who wants something to be different, it will eventually be different. Everything around you is going to change as soon as you change the things around you. I'm tired of everybody running around complaining as if you're on the receiving end of whatever this world wants to dump on you and you don't have a choice. And of all the things that you would assume that motivated me to work my ass off and make my life different, I was hungry.
The game you think you're playing is money. But I promise, the game you're actually playing is brain chemistry. If I gave you $4 billion tomorrow, but inside you felt suicidal and you felt worthless, what would be the point of the money? Conversely, if I gave you $3, but you felt fulfilled and like you were contributing not only to yourself, to your family, to other people, you felt alive inside and what you're doing meant something to you and you felt that you had significance, what does the money matter?
Number one, what we're really talking about here is contemplation. Really thinking through and using the power of thought of what you want, what do you want to be like, what are the skills you want to deliver, what's the service you want to offer to the world. Number two, the consistency of action to not only create that in your own body and your own mind, but start creating that result in the world. That's really important. Number three is courage, because it takes courage to put yourself out there and try to get a little better.
You know, just do what you do. You know, so many people are what I call they're game watching, they're scoreboard watching. Like every play, they're looking up to see where they are. You know, and I mean, you can't scoreboard watch and play the game at the same time. You know, you got to play the game. You know, they're so worried about, all right, is this going to be my year? Is this going, like they spend so much time concentrating on when the big one is going to happen, that the big one never happens because you can't chase two rabbits.
And a lot of us are sitting around waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel courageous, waiting to feel confident, waiting for the right time, and that's not ever coming, ever, ever. You're not going to change your life up here. You only change it through action.
How many people have you met in your life? You think they're spectacular, they're amazing, and yet they're so fundamentally unhappy that they're in the grips of depression. We're living through a mental pandemic right now. It is almost ubiquitous to know somebody who has depression and or anxiety. And the reason is people don't understand the game they're playing. The game you're playing is a game of brain chemistry. It's chemicals that flow through your brain. It's a mindset. Once you understand that, then you can begin to structure your life in a way that actually makes sense.
I want you to be successful. It's time to grow up, man. Excuses sound best to the person that's making them up.
You know, my quote is, you'll never win your war by running from your battles. And so you got to step up and you got to face it. I don't care what it is. You can run all you want, but reality is going to be right there when you stop and it's going to chase you. Or even if it doesn't chase you, it's going to be right there. You have to face it.
And I think that's greatness. I think what people get confused is, you know, they're grinding with a goal. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals, but you should be grinding for grinding's sake. You know, you should grind because that's what you do. You're passionate about what you do, you know, and so you're waking up every day with this concept of, I have 24 hours and they're mine. This 24 hours belongs to me. And whatever I do in this 24 hours will determine where I'll be tomorrow and the next day. And I think that's what people need to focus on. Like, get off of this, I want to make 6 figures. I want to drive this car. I want to live in this house. I think what people should be focusing on is, I have 24 hours. And in that 24-hour period, I can either break my life or make my life.
Yeah, motivation is great if you feel motivated, but it's garbage and it's a losing bet to wait to feel ready. Because your body's not designed that way and neither is your brain. And so I want everybody to understand that, first of all, you can't control the things that trigger you and the fact that you're going to feel afraid and you're going to feel doubt and you're going to feel uncertain. But but you can always interrupt that feeling and take control in the moment and actually shift what you're thinking and shift how you behave.
We're beating ourselves up. Like, everybody sucks at something, right? Like, we all have shortcomings and we all have strengths. And for me, it's like, why don't we just audit that? Like, why don't we just look at it that way and be like, all right, well, I'm good at this, but I'm not good at that. Like, and then I only focus what I'm good at.
To those humans who are of any concern to me, I wish suffering, desolation, sickness, ill treatment, indignities. I wish that they should not remain unfamiliar with the profound self-contempt, the torture of self-mistrust, the wretchedness of the vanquished. I have no pity for them, because I wish them the one thing that can prove today whether one is worth anything or not. That one endures.
Go on to bed so you can wake up the next day and you can grind it out. And I'm just a dude that believes you reap what you sow. So if you're grinding on Monday, grinding on Tuesday, grinding on Wednesday, if you're grinding 6-7 days a week for a span of 5 or 6 years, something's gotta come out of that.
Like, you think that you need to feel confident or courageous in order to get started. You don't. You actually just have to start, and that's the riddle of life. That lying in bed, hoping that you wake up some morning motivated to change, that's not the answer. You actually have to learn how to push yourself. You have to learn how to leverage the power of your decisions, and you've got to learn how to take action when you don't feel like it.
I don't judge myself. I'm fully in love with myself. But I'm also fully in love with everybody else too, right? It's not like it goes both ways. Like, I tell people to buy into me, that work for me, it's because I buy into them first. Everybody makes these big deals out of things that just don't matter. It's perspective. You know, my selfishness comes from my selflessness.
There are people who were born into wealth. There are people who were born into a certain network. I wasn't. But here's the trick. Even though I don't have what they have, I can outwork you. So if I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and as sweet as you are, networks, parents, wealth, opportunities, and you're getting up at 8, I've got a 5-hour jump start on you. So what I'm trying to explain to people is my ritual is, I'm gonna beat you to the spot. I'm gonna beat you to the spot. That's what it's all about.
That's life. That's the human condition. Most people think that Charles Darwin said that it's the survival of the fittest. Darwin never said that. It was said years after his death. What he did say, and burn this into your nervous system, what Darwin said was, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but rather the most adaptive to change.
You can know what you want, you can know what you should be doing, but how do you make yourself do it when the feelings and the motivation isn't there?
And so I'm gonna say, I guarantee you this year could be the best year of your life if you execute more. I'm not saying you're not executing, but I'm telling you, if you were to execute 100% of the time, you probably would add another comma to your income. Just by executing within the time frame you say you're gonna do it, and executing with excellence.
It's not interesting whether or not you guys have a dream. I don't care if you have a dream. I am so uninterested. What I care about, do you have the fortitude to fail?
When I was lying in bed, I wasn't saying to myself, I should get up because that's going to help me start my day right. I was saying, do I feel like getting up?